Three requisite of a valid meeting, or we can say a requirement, right, of a valid meeting. First is it must be properly convened. Second, it must be properly constituted. And third, it must be properly conducted. I'm going to explain one by one what is convened, what is constituted, and what is conducted. Okay, how to make meeting is properly convened. Alright, first, a notice must be sent to every person or every member who is entitled to attend, even though he is abroad or not feeling well, to attend a meeting. Alright. Second, adequate notice must be given. At least a week or more, maybe 2 weeks or a month before, but at least a week or more before the meeting held. Make sure the notice is free from anything or confusing, spelling error, typos and everything. Alright, wrong information, for example. The secretary must make sure that everything is okay and must contain all the important detail I'm going to explain later. Alright, usually notice is issued by a secretary with the instruction from the chairman. Alright, so the secretary will take the advice from chairman when and where the meeting will be held, and every information or all the details of the meeting will be put in the, we call it, notice. Alright, it's very important documentation that the members need to get before the meeting held. Alright, how to make meeting is properly constituted. First, the chairman appointment must be valid, usually through annual general meeting. All right, the appointment must mean the appointment of the chairman must be selected by the members. All right. Okay, there must be a quorum to start a meeting. A quorum, what is quorum? A quorum you can simply understand as a majority of the members. All right, it can be defined as a minimum number of members of an assembly or society that must be present at any of its meeting to make the proceeding of that meeting valid. Okay, to know the quorum, you must know the formula. All right, this is the formula to know the quorum of the members. Number of members divided to 2 and you plus 1. For example, you have 10 members of the meeting who entitled to attend the meeting, so you divide it to 2 is 5 and you plus 1, which is 6. All right, so when you have 6 members, then you can do the meeting. If less than 6, the meeting is considered as invalid and is improperly constituted. All right, if you have, for example, 13 members, right, you divide it to 2 is 6.5 and you plus 1 is 7.5. You round up to 8. So when you have 13 members of a meeting, you must have at least 8 members attend. Then you can start the meeting or you can do the meeting. All right. The third one is how to make meeting is properly conducted. It's all about the chairman must ensure that the business deal with in a meeting is within the scope of meeting. All right, that's why in a meeting we have agenda. All right, so the chairman must follow the agenda and make sure that the issue discussed is not out of scope. All right, you cannot discuss something that irrelevant or not in the agenda of the meeting. Okay, second, the chairman must allow the proposal of legitimate and relevant amendment. Legitimate proposal mean the suggestion, okay, from the members, and it is valid. All right, it's not something irrelevant. Okay, and amendment in term of the content, yeah, of the minute before, for example. All right, sometimes, you know, the secretary made a typing errors, for example, so the chairman must allow the relevant amendment. Okay, if the members said so. For example, one of the members said, okay, my name is wrongly spelled in the minute, so the chairman must allow the amendment. Amendment means correction. Okay, amendment you can simply understand as a correction that has to be done in the documentation of the meeting. This is two document of meeting that you have to understand. This is very important, and it must be prepared before the meeting held. First is notice, second is agenda. Okay, what is notice, what is agenda? We are going to look after this slide. Okay, notice. Notice is any form of communication used to call to the meeting all the committee members to attend. Its function is to inform or remind members of the date, time, and place of the meeting. Right? This is three basic things that you put in the notice. These details are compulsory when you prepare notice. Okay? Remember date, time, and place of the meeting. And it's not necessarily printed, because nowadays we have a technology. Maybe the secretary issues it through email, or maybe WhatsApp, or any platform, as long as the members know the information of the meeting. Three things: date, time, and place. All right. Okay. What you need to put apart from that is the name of society, club, organization. Okay. The heading must say notice of meeting. Okay. The day, date, and the time of the meeting. The place where the meeting will be held. And the last one is the signature, name and designation of the person, usually secretary, because secretary is the person who responsible to schedule the meeting. That's why he or she must be the person who sign this notice, not the chairman. Chairman just instruct, give order to secretary and advise the secretary. Then secretary will prepare the notice. All right. Okay, the last one is the date of issue of the notice. When the notice is issued, not the date of the meeting held, but the date of issue of the notice. Or you can simply understand that the date when the notice is spread or distributed to the members. This is example of notice. First, we have the UTM Sports Club, the name of organization, followed by the heading. This is a permanent notice of meeting to any organization. And then they have the second executive meeting. The meeting is all about what? Yeah, second, you can say first, you can say third, and any time of the UTM Sports Club will be held on Saturday. When? Specific date 29 January 2017 at 8:30 a.m. The specific time where Sport Club Room, Menara Chancellor, second floor, UTM Skudai. Okay, specific place. All right, Rania Mason is actually the secretary of UTM Sports Club, and the date that she gave to the members is 14 January 2017. Okay, you can put it something simpler, especially if you have too much information. Yeah, it's the same thing, but you put in detail like this. Okay, the second executive meeting of the UTM Sports Club will be held based on the details below, and then you use this kind of arrangement. Day, date, time, place is more, I guess, it's clear. All right, because sometimes if you put in paragraph, maybe the members cannot understand. So I prefer this version of notice of meeting. Okay, and then we have signature, the designation, secretary, and also the date of notice when it is distributed. All right, the next documentation that you have to give before the meeting held, and you can attach together with the notice, is agenda. Okay, what is agenda? Agenda is a list of items is to be discussed or dealt with the meeting. It is normally arranged in list form and number of order. All right, that means the chairman must follow the order. First, what you need to do first, second, third, until the end. Okay, the chairman usually decide what item should be included in agenda, and secretary will prepare for it. Again, secretary will be responsible in preparing and providing the agenda together with the notice. Okay, each will get a copy before a meeting held. Why they need to give to know the agenda at least a week before? Because sometimes they know they have to report certain thing, or they have to participate. This is their business. This is their scope of issue to be uttered in the meeting. So that's why it's very important to provide agenda before the meeting held, so the members can be well prepared for that. Okay, usually the chairman and secretary will consult the committee involved who may have business to include the agenda. It is normal, when the chairman or secretary will meet the members appointed, and they will ask, do you have anything, for example, to report or to discuss or not? If yes, they will put in agenda. If not, maybe it will be eliminated, and maybe will be brought to the next meeting, basically. Okay, the secretary must usually refers to the minute of the last meeting to see if there any item that were deferred. Deferred mean that was postponed, that it's not settled, and she or he want to bring it to the next meeting. It also useful because it will remind secretary about the routine or annual or half-yearly, quarterly, recurring items. All right, because meeting, like I said, you have to do it. You have to arrange it orderly, whether weekly, monthly, or annually. Okay, so secretary is the person who responsible for that. That's why they need to know the agenda of the meeting, each meeting that they do. Okay, when preparing the agenda, it is important to be realistic about number of items that can be covered in the time available. For example, you just have the duration of the meeting is only 1 hour. Just be realistic. Maybe one or maybe maximum is three main agenda to be discussed, not to have like 10 or 15 agenda. All right, you have to be realistic, especially secretary and the chairman must be realistic in arranging the agenda, in providing the agenda to the members. This is the example of agenda. Is very easy. It's just a list of a thing that you have to do or discuss in meeting. All right. Okay, this is very general because the real one you have to be more specific. All right. Chairman address. Chairman address is not the address. It's not a home address. Basically, chairman address is how chairman will come in the meeting. All right, and you will explain in detail when the secretary write a minute. Okay, usually you just say chairman welcome to the members, or maybe you can say chairman start with the meeting with al-fatiha, for example, right? And chairman's welcome the new members of the meeting, for example. Okay, apologies for absent. What's the apologies for absent? Apologies for absent is actually read by or announced by the secretary. The secretary will announce who are the absentees for the today's meeting and why. Is it with reason or without reason? All right. Okay, the third one after apologies for absent is minute of the last meeting. Usually again read by the secretary. The secretary will read, they will read the minute one by one of the last meeting, and she will explain the detail. Yeah, that's why the half hour of the meeting basically will be taken by reading a minute of the last meeting. All right, the next one after finishing the minute of the last meeting is matter arising out of minute. All right, matters arising out of minute is something that not important. Okay, is a bit of, it's not compulsory. I can say it's optional. If they have something not the main agenda, you can put under matter arising out of minute. Okay, correspondent again is a task of secretary. Correspondent is actually any written documentation that need to be informed to the members of the meeting. For example, there are letter of invitation from other society or other organization to do a joint committee, for example, or invitation of congratulation letter given to the club, for example, anything. Or maybe the secretary want to announce the summon or penalty that the organization get from other person. All right, so it's basically a documentation that important to be informed to all the members. All right, if they don't have correspondent, then you don't need to put in the agenda. Again, is optional, like matter arising out of minute. Okay, the next one is report. Usually report come from the members. All right, whether you are treasurer, okay, you might report the financial status or the progress of profit of the organization, for example. Okay, so report is also optional. For example, you have nothing to be reported, then you need to be put you don't need to put a report as the agenda of the meeting. Okay, number 7 is very important. You must have. If not, it's useless to do a meeting. We call it special business. Special business is actually the main agenda of the meeting. All right, and when you have a special business, usually it must come from the members, right? If they have something to discuss, not to report, to discuss. All right, for example, you want to make a proposal to do activity. For example, you are Ilma Club. All right, you want to do Chilok Week. So you want to present the cause. All right, who's the committee and so on, and you want the feedback from the member. Is it okay or not? You know, is it the cause that you want to do Chilok is okay or not? All right. So special business, you can actually specify it into 7.1, 7.2. Maybe there are other committees also want to present other thing. All right, usually we put 7.1, what 7.2 or 7.3, depending to the duration of the meeting. If you have long time, you know, to discuss, be realistic. Maybe you can put three special business to be discussed. Usually, if you want to do mock meeting, you are required to do at least 3 special businesses. All right, but in reality, you must be realistic. You know, if you have just 1 hour, maybe just 1 special business only. All right. The next one is also optional, any other business. All right, something that you want to discuss but it's not really important but related to the organization or your club. All right, we put in any other business. And then you have date, time and place of next meeting. All right, the chairman must announce and decide the date, the time and place of the next meeting, you know, during when you held the meeting. All right, you cannot say nantilah, I want to inform you later. No, you must announce it now. I mean on the day that you hold the meeting. And last one is close or adjourn the meeting. All right, usually the chairman will say thank you and so on. We will look at detail every item when we learn how to write a minute. Basically, this is the agenda of the meeting, and it's very simple compared to notice. You need to have certain thing in agenda. Some item is optional, some item is it's compulsory. I would say number 7, special business, because it's a main agenda. If not, like I said, you don't need to do a meeting or conduct a meeting, right? So special business is very important. So guys, thank you so much, and sorry I cannot do a live lesson for week 3. That's why I do a pre-recorded. If you have question, please personally WhatsApp me, or you can email, or you can just write in the meeting chat, so I can know what is your what you want to know, and what you don't understand about the slides for week 3. Basically, again, before we stop, this slide this week, we talk about requisite or requirement of the meeting, and the important document that you need to provide to the members of meeting, which is first is notice, and second is agenda. Inshallah, I will provide you online task that make you inshallah understand more about the content of this lesson. Guys, thank you and assalamualaikum. Good night.